Hello and welcome. In a talk about renowned Captain Eric Brown, I mentioned that he and his father had travelled to the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. There, the young Eric was offered a joyride by World War I Luftwaffe ace Ernst Udet. Afterwards, Ernst told him to learn German and to become a pilot. Eric did both, becoming the world record holder of the most aircraft types ever flown. The colourful and boisterous Ernst Udet was the second highest German ace of World War I. He was born in 1896 and grew up in Munich. In school, Udet displayed a quick, agile mind and showed early interest in flying machines. With his school friends, he built and flew model airplanes and helped to found the Munich Aero Club in 1909. The boys sometimes gathered around the nearby Otto Flying Machine Works to watch airplanes being built and tested. They visited an army balloon unit to gawk at training flights. Udet's burning desire to fly drove him to construct a full-size glider. It was an ungainly contraption of bamboo and canvas, and when Udet attempted to fly it off a hilltop, he smashed it. He finally flew when a test pilot working for the Otto Works took him up in a Taube monoplane in 1913. At the outbreak of World War I, Udet tried to enlist in the army, but he was turned away because he was too short. He paid for flying lessons at the Otto Works and received his licence in April 1915, allowing him to apply as a pilot. Udet was posted to a two-seater artillery observation unit where his aggressive style and eagerness for battle resulted in promotion and transfer to a unit flying the new Focke E.III Eindecker fighter. This had a machine gun synchronised to fire through the propeller. The E.III produced terror amongst Allied pilots out of all proportion to its capabilities, creating what was known as the Focke Scourge. This ended when the more advanced Allied fighters, such as the agile French Nieuport II and Britain's Airco DH-2, came in. On March 18, 1916, Udet received a report of two French airplanes flying near Mulhausen. He climbed into the cockpit of Focke's latest fighter, the D.III biplane, and began searching for the enemy. He soon found them, not just two as reported, but 22 machines of various makes. This time Udet kept his head, positioned himself above and behind his targets, and carefully selected a victim. Then he dived to the attack, the wind humming through the bracing wires as he gave the engine full throttle. His target, a Farman F-40 bomber, grew large in his gun sight, but Udet held his fire. When he was only a few metres away, he pumped a short burst into the French plane, which fell. That was Udet's first confirmed victory. There were others. Udet proved to be a good leader. He spent long hours training novice pilots in the art of air fighting and, like many successful aces, emphasised good marksmanship over flashy stunt flying. In early 1918, Udet was visited by a small, slim man with a delicate face and soft voice, Manfred von Richthofen, Germany's ace of aces, the Red Baron. Richthofen, always on the lookout for bright and aggressive pilots, asked Udet if he would like to join his unit. Of course he agreed. They were flying the latest from the Focke factories, a highly manoeuvrable, rapid-climbing triplane that was in turn replaced by the Focke D.VII, the plane generally considered the finest fighter of World War I. On July 2, 1918, he encountered the US Army Air Service and shot down two Nieuport 28s of the 27th Aero Squadron. One of the pilots, Second Lieutenant Walter B. Wanamaker, was brought down injured by Udet, who landed and chatted with him until the medics arrived. On a whim, Udet cut the serial number N6347 from the rudder of Wanamaker's plane, and when the two met again at the Cleveland Air Races in the US in 1931, Udet returned the trophy to his former opponent. It can still be seen at the US Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio.
It's slipping right on him. Hey! Look out, Brown, through, there he comes. There he is.
I'm glad to be able to fly in Chicago. Of course, it's nothing like flying over Greenland, where I made SOS Iceberg in the last year for the Universal Pictures Corporation.
Udet's new commander now was the 21 victory ace, Oberleutnant Hermann Goering. By this time the war was going badly for the Germans. He said, "The war gets tougher by the day. When one of our aircraft rises, 5 go up on the other side." These difficulties seemed to spur Udet on to new heights of achievement. Between July 1 and September 26, he downed 26 Allied aircraft, bringing his total to 62. The pace of Udet's life did not let up when the war ended. He continued to fly as often as he could, usually as a barnstormer and stunt flyer. In 1933, Hitler assumed dictatorial powers and ruthlessly began reorganising the nation according to his National Socialist doctrines. Udet listened with interest when Hermann Goering spoke to him of plans to rebuild Germany's air force, which had been banned after World War I by the Versailles Treaty. In 1934, Udet reluctantly joined the new Luftwaffe. Patriotism and the challenge of rebuilding the air force played a part in helping him make up his mind. He was promoted rapidly and in 1936 became head of the technical office of the Reich's Air Ministry. Udet was able to test fly the industry's newest designs such as the Messerschmitt Bf-109, Focke-Wulfs and Heinkels. But Udet was a poor bureaucrat and suffered sleeplessness and depression. His smoking, drinking and eating were out of control. At the end of August, Udet had a long talk with Goering in which he tried to resign. Goering refused, knowing that such a resignation from a top Luftwaffe official would create bad publicity. This came to an end on November 17, 1941, when Ernst Udet took his own life. According to Nazi propagandists, the pilot had died heroically while testing a new aircraft. Whatever your allegiances, Ernst Udet, judged purely as a pilot, was extraordinary. Thank you for watching, and please comment below where you are watching this video from. Thank you.